Really?
We here.
Are we though? Because I feel like we're in a delusional world right now.
I'm
Autumn.
standing right now. Okay, I'm in stand mode right now.
We're here to talk about Creed 3 if you guys did not notice from our my good co-host's name. Autumn B. Jordan.
B Jordan. Ought to be Jordan in the house.
Autumn be tripping. Autumn be toxic.
My co-host is a hater. Okay.
Mm, I don't think Michael B. Jordan will fuck with you after you called him corny last week. So
But I did say that I love corny niggas. So
not
I'm not turned off by your corniness.
it's not a compliment.
Mm, it should be.
So
Cheers, friends. We're here. We're doing a movie review.
I don't even know if I want to talk anymore. like my,
Meese, did you go watch Creed?
of course I did. Um I not Mese B. Jordan, but yes. Yes, of course I did. I love all things Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. I love Tessa Thompson too, so it was definitely a no brainer.
I feel like Meese Majors is a good.
It works.
I'm saying.
Either one. Mese Majors Jordan. Mese.
Okay. I see you with a little polygamy popping off over there. I see that's what you're trying to do. Those are two very good contenders.
Listen, I'm not even gonna do it.
Okay, we'll save that for another conversation.
that for the chatty chat. But yes, I was very excited for Creed 3. I saw the first two and it did not disappoint.
At all.
Not disappoint. From the storyline to the cinematography to the body.
The bodies. I mean, just off top. First of all, let's talk about the fact that as a Black female community, we're all absolutely showing up because I know that you guys are going to take those shirts off. I know that you're going to take them off. And they did. And as a woman who loves diversity, I'm going to say, if you haven't seen the movie, they had something for everybody. The Hispanic brother that was in there, he was nice to look at. The white man from the last movie, he was in there and he was scrumptious to look at. I mean, whatever your flavor is, Michael B. Jordan, you did your thing. I see you.
Leave it to you to be an equal opportunity lover. I didn't even notice them. I mean, I saw them, but it was Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors. Like I don't.
I'm looking at everything.
Other guys just happened to be in their movie. Like I didn't care anything what they was talking about.
Well, I was looking. Okay, and yes, he made sure that this movie was going to be visually appealing for everybody, no matter what flavor it is that you're into. He's like, okay, you like, big stocky white men? Check, we got you. You like big stocky brothers? Double check. We definitely got you. You like your little Hispanic man that's cut up? Don't worry, sis. I got you. And guess what, Michael? I like all of those things. So I felt well taken care of.
Moving right along past the thirst. So, um, okay, so for me, it was weird to see Jonathan Majors as kind of like the bad guy, the villain. I mean, I know he was an Ant-Man, which I fell asleep on. I'm gonna have to watch it again when it come out on Disney Plus. But I didn't see much of him as the bad guy. So I'm used to like Lovecraft Country, Jonathan Majors, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh you know, he was a good guy, I would say. And then I've seen him in the harder they fall. And then there he was, he robbed a bank. He was a not a bandit. I don't know. He was a wanted guy. Like he was he in a gang? I don't know the specifics, but he was legally not a good guy, but he was a good guy. You know,
Hmm.
showed up to save his girl and all this stuff. So I'm used to seeing him in that light. So to see him like with this hater energy, like, which I felt was justified. I felt like it was justified. Just to see him on that route, it was like, it's different. It's hmm.
It definitely wasn't what we're used to seeing him, like the role that we're used to seeing him in. But I appreciated it because I like diversity. So to me, that lets me know that he is the type of person, he's the type of actor, he's not going to get stuck in like the same type of role. He's not going to get typecast, I
Yeah,
think is what they call it. Which to me means longevity. You
yeah.
will be around for a very long time because you can, it's believable.
Hmm.
It's something about the way that he looks, like he can get this like crazy look in his eye when he's acting that just makes you think like, okay, there's literally something not quite right about this man, and I believe that you got some evil going on over here.
Yeah, he. I'm thinking of a specific look. Oh my goodness! If I could figure how to edit to add like a shot of him with this look, I'm definitely gonna put it here. If not, you're not gonna see it. Let's see. But yeah, there was definitely like a few times in the movie where he made this look, and I was like, "Oh, you for real? You really feel this?"
I believe you. I believe you.
Oh my goodness, yes. So if you have not seen Creed 3, I mean, I feel like it should be obvious from the title. If you have not seen it, cut this off because there are going to be spoilers and we don't want your hate mail about it.
Cause we telling everything.
We're telling all the tea. So, okay, so Creed 3 storyline is Adonis has retired. He's retired. He was like the champ. Now he's mentoring other boxers. There's another champion in his gym or on his team or whatever. And we come to find out, well, he was younger. Him and his friend, which was crazy to me. He's so good, but his friend was actually supposed to be the boxer. He was supposed
Mm-hmm.
to be the successful one. And Adonis was like his little flunky. Like he was showing up holding his bag and like, what you need, bro, type of thing.
Yeah,
So I was like, yo, like, how good was he? Because we see Adonis like,
he's that guy.
so a situation happens, we find out to where they were in a group home together, and the adults figure of the group home, wasn't he beating them or something?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Like fighting them like how people fight dogs. He
yeah.
fighting them like that. Very
Oh,
abusive.
yes, that's why they're such good fighters. I did go to the bathroom during the movie, so you probably missed that.
Me's party foul.
I was drinking. I was drinking. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, I went like right. Okay, let me just keep going. So Adonis sees the man at the gas station. He's like beating him, fighting him, or whatever. And his friend shows up and he pulls out a gun. Well, the friend gets arrested. Did he shoot him?
No,
Oh, okay, that's a
I'm
long
being
time.
dramatic.
The friend gets arrested. He's arrested for like 18 years. And so among this 18 years, he's writing. He didn't reach out to Adonis plenty of times. Adonis' mama keeping the letters from him. She is keeping the letters from him. And so, his whole focus in prison is when I get out, I'm taking my place. When I get out, I'm gonna be the man because that's who I was supposed to be. And Adonis is living his best life. Like he's become a professional boxer. He's successful. He's married now. He has a baby girl who likes to fight too.
Mm-hmm.
And so his friend gets out of prison and shows up. And he's like, "Hey man, Put me in a game, coach.
Like right now.
Now. Like I've been training for this for 18 years. I don't need none of the coaching, none of that. Put me in the game right now. I'm hungry. And so of course, Adonis and the trainer that he works with is like, you you're not ready, you're old. Like you, these guys is too young. And so yes. So we see Adonis feeling guilty, like wanting to help out his friend, not telling his wife really like the details of what's going on, which, happens in relationships. You tripping with me, we got weird energy because of something you dealing with, and I'm asking you to tell me, and it's just like, hmm.
Mm-hmm. And it was almost like, in relationships and marriage, you seek counsel from your partner. So he's talking to her about the situation, letting her know his thoughts, seeking counsel from her, but she doesn't have all the information. So her perspective and her view is lopsided because I don't know all the pieces that you know, and that's unfair.
Yeah, yeah, like she can't even give you any informed guidance because you withholding information.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought it was funny and very telling when it was him, her, and his mom talking. And he's like, yeah, I can't think of his name. I ran into so and so, so and so. She's like
Damien?
Damien, yes. And so, it comes out where she's like, yeah, I kept his letters from you. Hey, this whole time he thought I turned my back on him, blah, 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 blah. She was like, basically, I was trying to, keep you on track, staying away from those type of people. And he's like, he had my back in a group home. His wife is like, group home?
What group? What group is you talking about? You was in a boy band? What? What?
Sir, we have a 8, 9 year old kid. Why don't I know this? What, like, what?
Mm-hmm.
So it was very interesting to see, like, that's some real stuff. Like, being with somebody for a long time and still not having all of the details about their life. Just,
And especially like one of the most traumatizing things that happened to your partner, like little secrets. Secrets is not a thing, but like that's a very big thing to keep from your life partner.
yeah, over the course of like 10 years. Because it's not like, oh, it just never came up. Nah, baby, you you have that on lock. You
You're a
still,
whole stranger to me. Like at this point, you're a whole stranger to me.
yeah. Um, yeah, so basically Damien gets out of prison and he's who he says he is. I want the champ. I want to be the champ. I want the championship. I deserve it. You was holding my bags. Like you wasn't even, you live in my life. And when he said that, I said, "Ooh, that's some hater energy." But I was like, well, I can see why he feels. I can see why he feels that way. Like, but
Bro, you brought a gun. You out here walking around with a gun. Like you have to be ready to take on the consequences that come with that. If that's what you want to do, you want to pull it out. Like, in my opinion, that's not on anybody but you. That's on you.
so it is not Adonis's fault that Damien pulled out a gun. It's not his fault that Damien did all them years in prison. But he did start that fight. He definitely started that fight.
Yes.
So if his actions would have moved a little differently, maybe some follow up actions would not have taken place. But I'm not gonna sit here and tell you that if you was fighting somebody and I show up with the wham blam, have your back at 18 years, I didn't tell you to pull out that gun, nigga. What? Like, of course you didn't, but I had your back. Like, you didn't have to tell me. It's just
Okay, we can. What did Craig's daddy say in Friday? You gotta use. I don't know what he said, but basically you gotta fight. There's no. Please don't pull out the blicky.
I forgot I'm talking to the tree hugger. Like,
Oh,
please let's not fight, guys.
let's actually just talk about it. Let's
Please
just talk about it. But
each other.
um I appreciate the loving gesture. He's like, you my dog, like I got you. They did have a very, you could tell that they had a very um like just intimate type of deep connection. Like the things that they were going through in the boys' home, him being moved out to Beverly Hills or Bel Air, wherever he was living now, that didn't keep them separated from each other. They were still spending time together, and he was, I don't, it was just a very, I love the bromance of it. But Adonis wasn't wrong for getting the hell out of there. Like,
Yeah.
I can't be, I don't want those charges on me. He pulled a blicky out, not me. Don't put them, like, we're not the same on that. Everybody does have to be responsible for their own um like their own actions. But I felt like Damien's character, after he won, because they did end up he did end up fighting the Hispanic guy that was Michael B. Jordan's Adonis's protege or whatever. He was the new title champion. He ends up fighting him, his first fight ever, mind you. He's never fought anyone else, but he magically ends up in a situation that he actually constructed himself, uh, to where he's the guy that ends up fighting. After he wins the title by fighting dirty, mind you, he got in that ring and that man was street fighting. He was prison boxing. He wasn't going by none of the rules. And then afterwards, he basically was just like shitting on Adonis's character. He was just like, you think I need you? I don't need you. I'm the champ now. Like, I hold the title. I got the belt. Like, he was really, really feeling himself. And it'd be people like that have that type of mindset. You don't ever. I don't want to see people do bad, but them is the type of niggas that got to do bad. Y'all can never do good because you don't know how to act. When you get put on, you don't know how to act. You have got to stay in shitty situations.
Okay, so first off, I think it was a horrible, horrible, horrible move for him to pit Damien against that boy because, and like the trainer said, like like he's desperate, like he's not finna play nice, he's not finna play fair, and so this man has been arrested for a lifetime, 18 years. For 18 years, this man has been preparing, training, probably fighting, like for this moment. So you think that you're gonna put him on stage and he's gonna be like, oh yeah, let's just do this, like, for publicity, or no, I'm coming for everything that I lost. This is my redeeming place. I may never get this chance again.
Ever.
You get one shot, as Eminem said. I may never have this moment again. So whatever I gotta do, I'm doing. I'm fighting dirty. I'm like, I don't care. And so I feel like for him, he was showing out afterwards, and he obviously felt very hurt and very slighted by Adonis. Because, like you said, he was reaching out like all of those years, and he never reached back out, because one, he didn't know he was getting the letters, but two, like the nigga just didn't reach out. Like you could have found out his information and wrote him to.
Yes.
You could
Yes.
have. So I was not surprised to see like the true feelings come out. I feel like when he first came out, like there was possibly a moment of genuine like wanting to reconnect, but baby had a mission, and I don't knock him for it. Like he had a mission. Okay, my boy blew up. All right, cool. He living my life. He's finna help me get everything I lost. So when he started showing out, I was just like, as you should. Like as you should. Like you went down behind your boy, you know what I'm saying? Like, and your actions, of course, because again, nobody told you to wild out. But like he won't even write a letter back. He won't even answer a phone call. Like he won't.
That the whole like him not reaching out, that is what definitely rubbed me wrong. But he did explain that later whenever he was like, it was just easier for me to pretend like that part of my life didn't exist and didn't happen. Like, I think that when Damien went to prison, that's whenever he really started to shut down. Like, that was the last lingering piece of his life before he moved in with his biological father's, you know,
Right.
wife. Yes, that was like the last lingering piece. But now I'm no longer in group homes. I'm no longer in the streets. My best friend from that time is locked up in prison. Like, I don't have to associate myself with that part of my life at all anymore. Very toxic mentality to have. Definitely not healthy in any type of capacity. He definitely could have reached out. What, even if he wasn't getting any letters, you could have, even if 2 years had went by, 5 years had went by, you let 18 years go by without writing this man and saying, hey, appreciate you having my back that night at the gas station. Wish you didn't have a blicky, but I still appreciate you.
You
Nothing.
get no money on this man commissary. You
And
ain't
you
getting
over
no
here got
dough.
millions. You got, this man walked in your house talking about, oh, you got the see-through floors, and he couldn't get nothing on the commissary.
And they was in a group home. So I'm like, did he have any type of family support? Did he have anybody? You know what I'm saying? So like, yes, you know, you move on, you don't have to deal with that part of your life anymore. But he's living this out probably every day for 18 years. He's in prison for this. So every day he's like in this cycle of how he got there and what he's doing when he get out. So when he showed out, I was not upset. Like I 18, I can't imagine somebody doing me dirty for 2 months. And me not feeling like, oh, I'm finna turn them tapes. And me not wanting to bring the smoke. 18 years. Like, I feel like Damien handled that very well.
Toxic.
I feel like he
This
handled that.
this is very toxic.
I don't think so. I don't like he probably ain't been to nobody's therapy. He was out of prison for 2 weeks and showed up.
I
And
would, the only reason I say that it's toxic is literally just because the idea that someone else is living your life is not true. That's literally not possible. Your life is your life, their life is their life.
I don't know, man. I feel like if I was top dog at something and you were like, "Oh my god, I'm just happy to tie your shoelaces at this craft," and then what? I don't know. I feel like obviously it wasn't true, but I feel like everything he felt was valid. The man was arrested for 18 years. Like I what Cookie say? 17 years, Lucius. Like I did 17 years. And that was a different situation. But I'm just like, I'm assuming all of this happened because we don't never really know the storylines of movies.
Mm-hmm.
All of this happened like months after him coming out of prison for 18 years. And so, yeah, like, you know, he reunited with you. Like, that's the least you could do. When he out, you didn't check on a man for his entire stint
18 years.
in prison. Like, never anything. Okay, yeah, you go help me when I get out. And nigga, F you. Right? Like, F you. Period. And so it is an unhealthy um way of thinking, but I feel like it's not unrealistic. I feel like it's to be expected.
Well, that was one of my favorite things about this movie is everything, almost everything about this movie was realistic. Like the relationship between him and Damien, the relationship between him and his wife, the relationship, the healthy, thriving, beautiful relationship between him and his daughter, the relationship between him and his mom. Just, the movie was very realistic and true to life, how I would imagine for a black man who is successful in life, that comes from a traumatic background, that's dealing with certain things. Like everything was very true. From my experience, I thought that it was just, I loved it. Loved. Whoever wrote it, I don't know if I know he directed it. Michael B. Jordan directed it. I don't know who wrote it. But they did a fantastic job. Actually, I think that Ryan Coogler's brother, I think I did see in the credits that Ryan Coogler's brother did write the movie, or he did, him and somebody else. I think there was two names, but yeah. So I was very ecstatic to see. It's interesting to me, like Adonis's character, all of his relationships are with women. So this is like showing three different types of relationships that he has with three different Black women: his wife, his daughter, his mother. His, not even his biological mother, but his
Mhm.
mom. She raised him and he loved her. So, and all three are healthy relationships. They're rooted in love, but they do all have, you know, a little bit of turmoil. Not really his relationship with his daughter, but him and his wife. You know, we talked about him keeping secrets from her and her not being able to, her asking him for the vulnerability and him not delivering on that, and so that causing a problem, and that trickled over to like the way that his daughter is seeing them as a couple, you know. And then him and his mom, the scene where she had her stroke and she passed away, that scene was just, it was too real for me. It was too real. It was very intense, and it was, I'm not even gonna lie, I was in the movie theater crying real tears because it just hit home for me, and I was like, damn, this nigga Michael B. Jordan, he know what's going on behind the camera. Like he's actually pulling so many real authentic emotions out of, and I don't cry. I don't do that. But art gets me, and it was just so relatable, such good content. But I love seeing healthy relationships between Black men and Black women, and they depicted that all the way around: mother, daughter, wife. Loved it.
Yes, that's a very good point. I didn't think about that because you know they say like how a man treats his mother, you know, will show and how he treats his wife and this and that. So that's a very good point. He did have very healthy relationships with them, and I feel like that's something that we need to see more. You know, positive um Black men and Black women relationships. I really love his relationship with his daughter. Like she is so much like him. He's he's like, hey, what's wrong with her fighting? Like she needs to be able to defend herself. He's with all of the smoke, showing her the moves and everything. Like I just, it really warms my heart to see them interact in that way.
Mm-hmm.
It really gets her in a space that her mom is just like,
Right.
nah. Mm-mm. But I'm trying to think of what else like really stood out to me. Um,
I will say my favorite thing about the movie, since this was his directorial debut, this was, you know, the very first movie that he's directed. I was so impressed. My favorite scene out of the whole movie, the boxing scene where him and Damien's character are fighting, and they're like in, I can't remember what number round it is, but I think they're going into like maybe the third or fourth round, and the bell goes off and they stand up and they start fighting, and the crowd disappears. It's total silence in the ring. And this was just pure genius. Like, I get so excited when I think about it because in that scene, you can see what they're actually fighting.
mhm,
Like, in behind Damien's character, you can see that Adonis is fighting their past. You know,
mhm,
you can see the pillow that was used in the previous scene to show how the group home, the guy from the group home, was abusing them and fighting them, and like the things that he had to deal with. You can see that's what Adonis is fighting, like the shame, the guilt, his past. the trauma from that experience, that's what he's actually fighting, because that's what Damien represents to him.
Mm-hmm.
And then from Damien's perspective, you can see the jail bars that are closed in around the ring, and that's what he's fighting. He's mad and he's pissed off about all 18 years that he had to do in the penitentiary by himself, and that is what Adonis represents to him. And Michael B. Jordan was just a genius the way that he did that. When that scene popped up, that bell rang and the whole audience disappeared, and it was just them two fighting each other, but not really fighting each other, but more so what they represented in each other's lives. I said, give this nigga all the awards. Give him, what is it? The Oscar, the Tony, the Grammys. Give this nigga all of them. He did all of them. He did that. It was genius.
Yeah, he absolutely. I really did appreciate that scene, and I appreciate how they showed them as little boys again to each other.
Mm-hmm.
Like he really, I mean, I didn't know what to expect, from his first film that he was directing. I was just happy to see him and Jonathan Majors in a movie together.
Period.
Like that was enough for me. But like to see his creative mind, like I really, really appreciated that. And that was absolutely genius. Like I wouldn't have thought to do no, you know what I'm saying?
Only in Aquarius. Only in Aquarius. And to add even more Aquarian magic to the film, my sister told me that he had J. Cole do the entire production for the soundtrack. So we got an Aquarian directing, an Aquarian handling the soundtrack. I mean, when I tell you we can't really do anything wrong, don't bring up Carisha and don't bring up Kevin Gates. I don't want to hear it.
Blueface?
All right, moving on. Next subject.
That's the Control Alt Delete on the Aquarius. Who did you say? Oh, okay.
Moving on.
But yes, it was absolutely genius. And I mean, we pretty much knew how the movie was gonna end. Like Adonis Creed could not freaking lose, right? But I really, really, really enjoyed the fight and like just the anticipation because it was like we don't know. We don't know what's gonna happen because Damien was giving him the razzle dazzle for a minute. It was very, very, very intense. He was literally fighting for his life. He was literally fighting like you said, the time that he did behind bars, what Adonis represented to him losing all of that time, like his reputation, his dream, like this was his dream. He was the one that was sure, that he was gonna get here. And so I was like, man, that's wild. Adonis, he's fighting for his legacy. Wow, you can't come out and take what I've worked for. You can't. That just can't happen.
Yeah.
So it was very beautiful. It was sad too to me. Like it was like the story was sad, but it was just very well done.
And I loved the final scene with him and Damien after the fight in the locker room. Whenever he goes into Damien's locker room and he sits down and he's just like, I'm sorry. Like the accountability, because that you was wrong. You was fucked up and you was wrong. And then for Damien, also the accountability of being like, we was kids and it wasn't on you, like I can own that. I'm angry. I'm mad. I've been angry. I've been mad, and you handled the situation wrong. We was kids. I handled the situation wrong as adults, but let's not let this, like, we had real genuine love for each other. So I loved that scene. It was very mature and it was like, it didn't take away, them being gentle with each other didn't take away from them being strong, masculine Black men. And I wish I could have been in that locker room. Tragedy.
Every time. We need like a halt button.
Literally.
Beep. Just stop it right there. Just
I need to think about that. And you know, now that I think about it, that was probably my least favorite thing about the movie is I felt like it was very unrealistic that him and his wife only had one child because if you're married to Adonis Creed and his body is looking like it's looking every day, I'm busting it wide open on a regular basis. What do you mean one child? One child do what? How? 3 times a day. You doing 3 a days at the gym, you doing 3 a days at this house.
The most worn out men in America.
I mean, tired. You're gonna be tired, buddy. What do you mean?
Well, I do know that his wife had a career as well, and maybe she was trying to pursue her career and not be popping out babies. But I will say that I do have 2 kids, and so it's no telling how many I would have. I was married to Adonis Creed, like
I
the
mean,
Damien. Okay, maybe not fresh out of prison, Damien. Maybe Jonathan Majors, but like Adonis. Points were made, friend. That was good. It was a valid observation.
that was kind of crazy. That was just a little bit crazy. And I will tell you, this is a side note. My toxic perspective, fresh out of prison penis, it's a go.
Too far
Okay, I'm sorry.
every time. God Almighty.
I tried to warn you. It's a toxic take.
You did. I promise you. Like I'm gonna one of these days. I'm gonna go back and like look at all the old episodes and do a mashup. And I'm gonna make a reel or like a short YouTube video of Autumn's toxic takes. And even when you look at it, you're gonna be like, I said that. Yes, yes, my friend.
Only if I end up agreeing with Joe Budden again. That's those are only times that I really question my decision making skills.
Which was wild.
It was. It made me question, but I was still right.
I don't Joe Biden is a Virgo. Choke on that wine. Choke on it. Choke on it.
First of all, you just made that up.
I'm about to Google it right now.
You just made that up.
I'm about to Google it right
Nobody just
now.
off the top of their head knows what Joe Budden's sign is.
The only
Who knows that?
I'm gonna tell you why I know this. We were both married to Virgos before, and I saw a meme. I'm pretty sure. Please be right. Yes, August 31st. I saw a meme.
Literally the day after my ex-husband's birthday.
Oh, my ex-husband is August 29th.
Something about the end of August. Don't do it.
But yes, it was a meme. He was sitting down like cross-legged, I think like on a water fountain, and the girl was like yelling at him, like veins popping, like ah. And he was just so calm. And they was like, this is what arguing with a Virgo is like. And I was like, Joe Budden is a Virgo. Huh. Yes.
Wow.
There you go. With your toxic takes. Agreeing.
Well,
golly.
I'm gonna go to my corner and think about a lot of things.
Yeah. Rethink all of that. But yeah, Creed 3 was absolutely a vibe. Will there be a Creed 4? Like is there storyline left for like
I definitely think that they are preparing us for his daughter becoming little Miss Layla Ali, and we're gonna see the continuation of the Creed legacy through him training and teaching his daughter, which is going to be very interesting because his daughter is fully deaf. Mm-hmm. His wife partially deaf. His daughter 100% deaf, but she's very interested in boxing. Her father is the #1 heavyweight champion of the world. Like, they're definitely setting us up for a Creed 4 legacy. Him training her when she's all grown up, or something's gonna happen. They're gonna put some gray hair on Michael B. Jordan, and he's still gonna be fine.
Well, as long as her daddy got his shirt off in the movie, I'm They can
How
do
is
one.
how is he gonna train her with no shirt? I mean, how is he gonna train her if he's wearing a shirt? It's got to
I
come off.
I don't know. I'm just making it clear, making my request known, putting it out there. This is what I would like to see. And if they bring Jonathan Majors back, like maybe they have lunch or something and then go in the round for fun. Like I make my little dreams come true. That's all I want.
I will say I also enjoyed his trainer, Wood Harris's character. That was one of my
So
favorite lines in the movie when he just kept saying, "Listen to Duke," like those 3 words,
yeah,
listen to Duke. I'm like, yes, every single time I'm like, listen to Duke. When he gets ready to do something ignorant, listen to Duke.
yeah, because there was some bad decisions he was making. I mean, his heart was in the right place, but no, absolutely not. No.
Definitely, definitely. So if you watched this video and you haven't seen Creed, we basically just told you everything that happened in the movie, but you can't see their bodies when you're looking at our bodies. So still go to the movies and look at them bodies.
Okay.
Absolutely. It's a great movie.
Yeah. Let us know what y'all think about it in the comments. Let us know what you think about our review. Autumn's toxic take. Um, yeah. Yes. Follow us on the Grammygram underscore girl talking chill. Like and subscribe to our channel.
Yep. And we will see you next week for another episode. Let us know if you want us to do more reviews, TV shows, movies. Like, we're into the arts. So we're here for all of the things.
Here for it. So until next time, bye.
Peace, y'all.
Oh